Hey, let me cut the music. There we go. There we go. How's everybody doing? Uh, let's do some Photoshop. Um, it's been a minute. We did a lot of Red Dead Redemption previously to this stream previously. It was really fun. I've been thinking about doing more Red Dead Redemption. I want to, but I also, have a lot of other stuff I gotta get done. One of the reasons why this stream is like so late in the game, and I was gonna do 2 streams this week, is I've been working on Umbrella Academy, and like visually that book is so different than anything else that I feel like once I get kind of like get in the mindset of it and like try to figure it out, it's like exhausting, because it's just like it's very difficult to look at it critically because it's so different, and then B, it's like it's really difficult to get like out of that mentality into like doing other stuff. Like after I've been thinking about putting like these kinds of transparent colors, like one on top of the other on top of the other, in all these different places, and creating this visual style, it's hard to like be like, okay, now we're gonna like knee-jerk reaction the other direction and like do a superhero thing. Like it's just really difficult for me to like, I don't know, separate. Like once I'm in one thing, I kind of want to get it done. And actually, I'm working on Umbrella Academy number 4, and it's not even quite done yet. So I don't know. But I'm not going to work on it today at all. I did a Nightwing cover, and then I argued about comicsology on the internet. That's what I did with my day. Anyway. Also, wait. Before we jump in, I was about to jump in. Before we jump in, The Realm number 10 came out, and you guys should pick it up. It's the last issue of the 2nd arc. Jeremy's working on the 3rd one, or the 1st issue of the 3rd arc, number 11. That was a lot of numbers. You watched Red Dead Redemption 2 streams all morning? Nice. So yeah, go pick that up. It came out on Halloween, if you missed it, because it's Halloween and you have other responsibilities, like bringing kids around trick-or-treating or handing out candy and comics to kids when they go trick-or-treating. I understand, but it's in shops now. And I would be remiss to not let you know. All right, let's get into it. Before we get into it, though, I just wanted to share this. Shelley Bond, who has been in comics for a long time and is an incredible editor, she tweeted this out, and it got me thinking about it, and I responded, the Max and Scud the Disposable Assassin. And we're going to talk about that in general, in general terms, when we start working on this Superman. But like tons of people, like a lot of really great creators chimed in on this thing, and you should check out this thread, because it's really great. And this is kind of some of the stuff that you only hand out apples and stock reports to kids on Halloween. You must be a very popular house. But yeah, this thread is great, and you guys should all check it out. Also, I was complaining to Comixology, and I urge you all to complain to Comixology on Twitter and tell them that you want reading lists. You want playlists. You want users to be able to generate playlists and buy from playlists and read from playlists. I've been reading Hellboy, and I was complaining about this on Twitter. Somebody directed me to this. This is a Hellboy reading order, and I wish I had this to begin with, because I'm at the end of like the omnibuses, which is like here, but I didn't read any of this in between stuff, and I really should. I'm trying to get caught up on all the Hellboy stuff, because I found it very confusing. It hit a point where like there were multiple different titles, and like I was getting lost in the shuffle a little bit. And then on top of that, I was like, you know, working on doing a lot of drawing, and now that I'm reading comics more and more and more, I was like, oh, I want to read all the Hellboy. I want to read all of it. And so this list is gonna help me. But I shouldn't need this list. Comixology should be able to make their own lists. They should have they should add Hellboy to cart, done. Like, that should be a thing. So tweet at Comixology. Let them know. You only hand out apples and stock reports. Boyks doesn't shop for eggs. He just he just gets a year's supply one night by being terrible at Halloween. The perfect plan. Yeah. So we got Bryan Hitch Superman. This is an old colorist jam that I'm resurrecting. This was like months ago, but I was looking for something to work on. I actually have a realm cover that I was hoping to do, but I haven't actually gotten it flatted yet. So we're gonna work on this. So you know, let's get into it. So oh my, all these little chains are all different. All the little chains and chunks of chains. We're gonna make them all gray like they should be. We're gonna make Superman's skin tone his normal skin tone. If you guys remember the last stream where I was talking about by the way, umbrella lights all around me. I should be like more well lit right now than I normally am. You're welcome. You can see me for better or worse. You can see me a lot better. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but now you can see me. Superman's hair is black, correct? Yes. We'll split the difference. That's like a black brown. Big red S. We'll put the yellow in. So we're prepping Superman right now. We're almost done. But before we jump in, and this is something that I always do, that I urge you guys to do as well if you're starting to color somebody who has a body of work out there already, is check out what the stuff that's out there already looks like. If somebody else has solved a problem without, you know, before you even tackle it, you should check that out. Like, if somebody else has figured it out, just use what they did and make it better. That's the secret. So this is a bunch of Bryan Hitch stuff that I found online just by doing a quick Google search. It looks like stuff that I don't particularly enjoy. Like, I understand that this has a place in comics, very like airbrushy kind of soft stuff, but this isn't my wheelhouse. The other you look better than in real life because of the umbrella lights. I get you. So this stuff looks good. It isn't my taste, for sure. I think that the other advantage of looking up what somebody else has done is to see like how you can differentiate yourself from that person. So I'm not sure. I think this is Alex Sinclair. Sinclair is on the cover here, who did the coloring for this. We're going to go in a different direction. I'm not sure. I think Alex Sinclair did this one. I think he did both of these as well, but I'm not entirely sure. So we know that we can do it very, very airbrushy. Hey, comics and stuff. We can do it airbrushy. But do we want to? We're gonna figure that out. Here's the Superman. Here is the Superman. Now he's like busting through chains. We're probably going to do like a like sunny day of some kind in the background. The other thing that I think is worth looking at is that he's got kind of like a secondary light source here. on this side of him. A lot of comic artists, when they do this kind of like core lighting, Hitch is usually colored by mounts. Oh, really? He colors, Paul colors all the Amanda Connor stuff too, right? I think so. So a lot of times when comic artists will... Oh, you guys hear that thunder? That thunder rolling in on me. I don't know if you could hear it. When they kind of put these like core shadows, but they don't go all the way to the edge, it's because they're creating a secondary light source. And I don't know if we're going to keep it yellow, but I just wanted to like paint it in just to show you guys that like this is the visual language that's going on here. So like these are the black and whites, and you can tell that like it looks like it's being lit. Here, we're gonna... Whoa. I'm like all off the rails. It looks like I gotta use black and white, unfortunately. Right on the line art here. We're gonna not save it. We're gonna save it, then we're not gonna save it after we fuck up the line art. Yeah, his portfolio is like 85% Amanda and Hitch. Yeah, it makes sense. His stuff looks... I feel like his stuff looks better on Amanda than it does on Hitch. Personally. I always thought his stuff on Amanda was really good. That's just my humble opinion, though. Amanda, the way Amanda draws, she has like a softness to her work that I think is really interesting, and he complements it very, very well. So it looks like the light source is coming like this kind of thing. You can kind of see it's like the under the palm is dark. Maybe like this because of the chains. Chains kind of look like that. And then he has a secondary light source, because if this was the regular light source, if it was just one light source, then like these shadows here, we can just ink in shadows. These shadows would be like all the way to the edge like this. Like that is one light source. This is two light sources. So there's kind of like two things going on within the shadows. Let's not let's go back to where we had it. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, there's like a secondary light source happening in here, and maybe even on this Superman's left leg as well. His left, our right. So we're gonna figure this out. Now, if you remember from the first stream that we did, or the previous stream before all the Red Dead, not the very first stream we did, not the last Red Dead Redemption stream, but the last Photoshop stream. We talked about how you wash a color over a piece like this. Like this piece has a lot of different colors in it, especially because it's got red, yellow, and blue. So like this is all over the color wheel. And so we need a color to kind of unify it. So just like we did with the color wheel, we're going to just select everything and just wash it with like an orange or a yellow, because it's going to be like sunshiny. So like this is like 20%, I think. Yeah, 20% of this yellow. And it's already looking more cohesive. Let's kick it up to 30% because we don't do things halfway. And now we can actually pop Superman out by putting, we washed with yellow. We can go to the other side of the color wheel for blue. Boom. Now Superman's like popping against that blue. And we can actually put a little bit of yellow in there as well to unify it just a bit. Can even maybe like do some more darker blues in. We're shucking and jiving now. We're figuring it out. Something like that. Starting to look good. We're just messing with the background color. So, while you guys, in between the last couple Photoshop streams, I also, none of those skin tones look good. I also retooled all the brushes. So in the Normcore, it was normally just like a list of brushes, and I've kind of since organized, like, these guys are kind of the main brushes that I regularly use, with like a couple of erasers in here, and then like this stuff is all kind of like dirty painting techniques. You know, like these are all brushes. Wow, this brush is enormous. Like these brushes are all, this is a terrible example. Like kind of like chunky and here, we'll grab this one. Like, you know, it's got like grit to it, like a real paintbrush would, for those kinds of mark making. And then smidged is all the smudge brushes that like kind of do this weird smudging that happens, and adds like texture in the smudge. And then Oh So Special, these are like all brushes that I've kind of curated out of the list that do kind of special effects. So yeah, popping and locking. Oh my god, we're shucking and jiving, and that's all we'll do. So like this is like a brush that does like leaves, although it looks terrible over this thing, and it does them with like a bunch of different color jitters. And this one just does solid leaves, and then this one adds a little sparkles. we don't want all those sparkles for Superman. And then we got like Kirby dots, and like this is a zoom or action burst. So there's all kinds of stuff in here that are like kind of special effects. Like this guy is, what is this guy? What are we doing right now? What is happening? This is just like a little bit of texture. It's like a weird texture brush. And this is like a cloud brush that I nabbed, but I don't know if I like it yet. I got to use it a little more. I basically went through, and I encourage you guys to do this too. Put a nice white sparkle on his teeth. We might just end up doing that. One of the things I encourage you guys to do is every once in a while, like, not monthly, not bi-monthly, but maybe even like every 6 months to a year, just like kind of poke around and see what's out there as far as like brush packs go. You know, the Kyle Webster brushes are great, but sometimes you can find some like weird hidden gems in the rough, like out there. I spent a couple of bucks, like literally a couple of dollars, 2 whole American dollars on a handful of brushes. And we're going to add shadows, by the way, kind of figure out where we're going with this Superman piece. I added, spent 2 whole American dollars on some brush packs, downloaded a couple for free that I could just find. They were all Nicky money bags over here. Yeah, exactly. 2 whole American dollars. I just like went through, we have a little section in the Discord. You guys should join the Discord. There are resources there in addition to my yelling about Comixology. In addition to like everything that's not a resource, there's a few resources in there. There's a tool time section that's about tools, and like an art tutorial section that's about art tutorials. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you should check it out. Every time I come across something that I think is worth saving or worth referring to later, I drop it in there. So I just went through and like nabbed all the brush packs, and it was, by the way, amazing how many brush packs had the same brush in them. Like somebody, I don't know who originally made the brush, but it would like pop up in like multiple brush packs. There's a link to join the Discord that's right down there, right below me. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can just scroll down. There's a button that says Discord. Just click it and you'll be invited. And if you're watching this on YouTube, much later than the current present, it's in the description as well. So yeah, you can jump right in. So yeah, I downloaded like 5-ish brush packs. And they had multiple of the same brushes in different packs that were like kind of aggregated together. And I don't know who made the original pack, but then everybody's like jumping on the same train, which I think is funny. But yeah, so I went through and like kind of pulled, by the way, if you're selling brush packs, just a tip for you. When I see a brush pack that's like 10 brushes, I get excited. When I see a brush pack that's like 40 brushes, I'm like, I gotta slog through this shit. Because there's going to be so many repeated brushes or brushes that I already have, or like, you know, like stuff that doesn't necessarily work that well, like that's just there for volume. But like with 10 brushes, I know that it's like, you're like, here's the good stuff. Here's what I use. Here's the new hotness. And I'm like, yeah, give me that new hotness. Gotta get that new hotness. Also what's happening in the Discord is, you know, Inktober might be over, but the sketchbook challenge all year, baby. I haven't done a sketchbook challenge for today yet, but I plan on doing it after we get off stream here. I'm hoping your brushes are all old and busted. You gotta change that up to the new hotness. I'm hoping that November will be my perfect month. I haven't had a perfect month yet. I'm learning that by tracking how many days I'm actually realistically spending drawing a little bit. I've realized that I average between 1/3 and 1/2 of the month. You have so many Kyle Webster packs. Yeah, it's nothing against Kyle Webster. Like, his packs are great, but like, you know, there's like other voices out there, and if you limit yourself to like one voice, then like I don't build a lot of brushes, so I don't know what goes into that, but I know that like anytime anybody is making an artistic choice, they're filtering through their point of view. And if you download multiple brush packs with multiple people creating different things, then you're going to find stuff that's not in other brush packs, and you can kind of distill it down to what you want in your voice. I think that it's important to, you know, try different things. Man, what was I saying? I was saying something important. Oh, sketchbook challenge still going. Yeah, so I normally do like half a month, like just a smattering of stuff, but about 15 a month, except for there was like 2 months that were really bad this year. So I'm hoping to offset the bad ones with maybe some good months, November, December. I'm still going after that perfect month where I draw every single day, trying to get there. You know who puts us to shame, by the way, as far as like drawing every day? I mean, I know a lot of professionals probably are drawing every day, but Eric Canetti, man. Canetti draws every day. Like, that dude is like a Swiss watch. You know who else? Ben Caldwell. Like, I don't know if you guys follow his Instagram at all, but I did finish that one sketchbook earlier in the year. Yeah. So maybe it's not like the sketchbook challenge, but the draw every day challenge. I think that might have been why I had 2 bad months, actually, because I was like, oh, I finished a sketchbook. I'm done now. I'm hoping to finish this other sketchbook, or at least come close by the end of the year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still drawing cryptids, by the way. I just did the Hopkinsville Goblins, I think is what they were called. Um, these weird silver goblins with ears that point up that are floating that terrorized this homestead way back when. They're definitely real. Don't worry about it. When is the cryptid collection poster? Well, I was thinking, like, this is the thing, is I was thinking about, I like drawing all these cryptids. I should do like a little collection, a little zine for like $1 and sell them at shows. Yeah. Put a bunch of them together and sell them at your booth. Yeah. I'm onto it. We're on the same wavelength. I was gonna put like a little bit of commentary down, and I think it's a good project for me to do as someone who is cryptid print set would be awesome. Yeah, man. Whew. This thing's got legs. But for me, who I haven't put together a cohesive zine in a long time, and that was never the goal for this year. This year was just about sketchbook, get it done, that kind of thing. But I think next year is going to be about. I always relate this with like working out, which is weird because I don't work out. But like this year was about me showing up to the gym on a regular basis, and next year is going to be about like focused work, which is why we wrote like last weekend we wrote that 4-pager on stream, because I want to do like quick little 4-pager before we do Curse of the Iron Chef. And we're gonna do little writing corrections on all that stuff again, probably soon, and then we're gonna start doing some thumbnails. I haven't actually worked out exactly. So I'm a professional colorist. The art comes to me already done in black and white. I have not worked out, like, I can thumbnail. I have not worked out how to get from I've drawn this tiny thumbnail to I've blown it up on a piece of Bristol board. Excuse me. In real life. Like, I understand how to do it digitally, but I want to do it in real life. I want to get away from the computer. At least for the real life stuff, for the inking and penciling. So I think I might need a new printer for that, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I know Fake McCoy is in the chat. He was looking at 11x17 printers that would print on Bristol board a while back. So I assume that's what he was using it for. But yeah, we'll figure it out. This is all next year stuff. But we only got 2 more months left of this year, so whatever. You love the printer you got? You wanna plug it on stream? You can. I might pick one up myself. One of the problems that I'm having, by the way, is that I'm starting to run out of room in the studio. Like, the studio used to be just like I work at the desk and that's it. Like, I just color all day. And then I was like, well, I want to stream. So I need some room for some lights, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put a green screen behind me. Yeah, you're penciling in Clip Studio, then printing it in blue line so you can ink on Bristol. Nice. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna be drawing, so I got like a drafting table. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna play video games on stream sometimes, so I got like a whole section for that set up. And now it's like, oh fuck, I gotta fit a printer in here. Like, are you serious? I don't know where that's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to sell my GameCube to fit a printer somewhere or something. I don't know. We're gonna have to like shuffle some stuff around. one of these days too, I'll be posting a little studio tour on the Discord sometimes. You'll plug the printer in Discord. You're at work. Forgot what it is exactly. Yeah. All right. But yeah, I feel like that's the best way to do it, because like I don't know how to blow it up otherwise. And I'm gonna have to like scan pages in too, which is like something I'm not used to doing. I was at a dinner with Jeremy Hahn and his wife, and we were talking and like we were talking about art and stuff, and I mentioned that I don't have an 11 by 17 scanner, and she was like, "You don't have one of those?" Like his wife Lori was like shocked, and I was like, "What would I use it for? For all my digital coloring? Like what?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you wouldn't really have a use for that." So I mean, I guess there's kind of like a bunch of tech that I gotta think about picking up in the next couple of months, but I don't mind picking it up because we're gonna use it and I can write it off of my taxes. So, you know, that's all good. I'm trying to I'm really trying to figure out this Superman rendering. Hitch is like all over the place. Guess what printer has an 11 by 17 flatbed? The one you picked up? Yeah, well, I'm figuring all this out. And we'll be part of the reason why I want to chronicle all of this kind of stuff and like do it on stream is because I want to share it with you guys, so you guys know like what you need to jump in. And I'm gonna make at the end of the year like some posts. It's the Dream Machine. I'm gonna do a post on Twitter if you follow me there, and I'll probably post it in the Discord too. Basically all the tools that I've bought for the year, and like if I liked them or not, if they worked for me or not. And it's such a deceptive thing because it's like brushes. Like people have different goals, people draw differently, so different tools are going to work better or worse for them. Like I am warming up to this kind of like chunky, like spot black drawing kind of thing. So let me back up a little. I've been thinking about like what makes me excited as a creator, like what I want to make kind of thing. And I think that is a kind of weirdly unanswerable question. We're going to get all psychological on you right now. I think it's a weirdly unanswerable question. I think that it's about trying to figure out what you like at your core, like, and that kind of thing, that kind of like is not just like, oh, you answered it and then you're done. It's like, it's because it's a constantly shifting thing based on the experiences that you're having and all those kinds of things. It's about finding your creative voice. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately because, you know, in the next year, one of my goals is going to be to actually make some zines and put them out there. So it's like, okay, well, what am I going to make? And, you know, we made Curse the Iron Chef on stream. I'm working on a little cryptid thing because, like, I find those creatures funny and weird. And I think that we can do a unique take on them. And so I'm thinking about all this stuff, and then Shelley Bond posted, you know, what books got you into comics, that Twitter post that I showed at the beginning of the stream. And I started looking at everybody's answers, and they're all like good books. Like, they're not bad books, but like I think that it's telling what books got me into comics. I think there's a correlation between what books got me into comics, and the stuff that I like to draw and how I like to draw. When I was in school, one of the things that was really tough for me to come to grips with was like, I feel like school was, an art school in general, was like pushing me towards this idea of like, you got to draw in a constructed, normal, mainstream comics kind of way that like my schoolmates were good at doing. Sean Murphy and Christian Donaldson were very, very good at it. And I was always kind of bad at, like, it wasn't like how I wanted to draw. Like, I want to learn that stuff, but I don't necessarily want to execute that stuff. Like, I much preferred, like, cartoony weird stuff. I like the mark making of, you know, the brushes and stuff like that. And Sean has that in his work. He does very like gritty kind of like line and that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like very structured, like the people look like people, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that like I'm not gonna do that. My people are gonna be freaking weird balls or whatever. I don't know, weird stick figures. But so I'm thinking about this stuff, and then I'm like looking through other creators, and it's like, you know, Frank Miller Daredevil stuff got people into comics. Madman, not Mad Men. It's one's a television show, one's a Mike Allred book. Got people into comics and like all this stuff. Kind of like, I'm like, yeah, those are good books. But like the things that got me like excited about comics. By the way, we're adding shadows. Boom, it's happening. We just used this like dark gray. We're gonna fade it. We're gonna multiply it down and do it about like 60. Let's do 70%. And we're gonna go from here and try to figure out like what kind of actual values we want. Like, this is too cold for the skin, so we're gonna add a little bit of red into it. It's like too much red. Maybe a little orange. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Maybe a dark red. We're finding our place. But yeah, so I was like, I don't know exactly, like these books are all good, but like they weren't the stuff that like got me into comics. The books that got me into comics were The Max and Scud the Disposable Assassin. And like the Max is, you know, hyper rendered, but it's not like quote unquote realism. And like another book that I loved when I was a kid, and like I brought this comic to school like every single day, was Body Count by Simon Beasley. The Ninja Turtles book. Oh my god, that book like blew my mind when I was a kid. And his stuff is not like quote unquote correct, but it's like interesting, and there's definitely like a love of mark making in there. That's like really, really great. And that's the stuff that like I'm attracted to. And it was interesting seeing like what creators, like kind of like what hooked them, and then seeing how they draw now. And now that I'm like starting to get back into drawing, I think that the idea of like, you know, making something maybe not similar in tone, but like similar in like weirdness, similar in like level of fun that you have with it, that like comes through in the work. I I want that. Like, that's more important to me than like drawing a perfect guy, you know? And I'm not like, you know, gatekeeping any of that stuff. Like, Sean just actually posted a Azrael that was like badass, and I was like, man, I wish I could do that. But like, I'm just like, I'm not built for that. I'm a different person. I don't know. I thought that stuff was like pretty interesting to like think about. And so like when you're out there, and by the way, this is the same conversation for color. Like, when you're starting, you will find your tone, like what works for you. I did a lot of like just straight up cuts, because like when I started, just like one cut done, because like at the time, that's the stuff that I was responding to. Very like simple line work, not over hyper rendered stuff. Like, I thought it was cool, but it wasn't the stuff that was hooking me. The stuff that was hooking me was like Beware the Creeper by Cliff Chang and Dave Stewart on colors. That stuff was like blowing my mind. But like Battle Chasers was out there, and that was cool, but like the liquid coloring like wasn't, I don't know. It didn't grab me the way that like the other stuff did. And like I said, it's personal taste. We're just adding a little texture to the neck. We don't necessarily have to be, there we go. Now the brush is working right. I had to click off screen and then click back. We don't necessarily have to be doing like a airbrushy kind of thing, but we are gonna like get a little painterly, because I think that stuff does look best on Hitch's work. Did you post it, Fake McCoy? He said he found the dream machine. I'm gonna refresh the chat, because I'm not sure if I crashed it. Chat has been quiet. You said you found the machine, and then I didn't hear anything. So, but yeah, so I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting to see other creators and what attracted them, what got them into comics, because I feel like you can draw a straight line between like, this got me into comics and now I draw like this, you know? I feel like that stuff is interesting. And if Comixology would make a user-generated playlist thing happen, then like maybe these creators could put like little playlists of like stuff that they love up on Comixology. So let Comixology know that you want playlists, because I, for one, would like read a ton of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily find if people were making playlists. My Discord keeps flickering over there. And it's making me think people are chatting, but no one is chatting. It's weird. I wonder if my internet is flickering. We're having some thunderstorms, so who knows? Who knows? We're going to add a second cut on here. We're going to screen. We just grabbed like the regular skin tone. We're just going to screen it down. It deleted the link. You assumed I could see it and it would make it visible. I didn't even see anything. You can just drop it into Discord. Weird. So one of the other things that I've been thinking, there's two other things that I've been like thinking about that I kind of wanted to get on my soapbox about. One of them is collecting in general. So I've been reading a lot of comics. I've been collecting games for a long time, and there is a weird thing with collecting where it's like you're not a true fan unless you have everything. You feel like you have to buy everything. They just announced that the PlayStation Mini, and I've watched a lot of some YouTubers who are like, we're adding a little bit of shine in. I've seen some YouTubers who are like, I don't have any interest in this, or I don't have any use for this. I have a PlayStation 1. You're that collector nerd? Oh no, I'm about to rail on it. I have a PlayStation 1. I have all these games. I put a pre-order in for the PlayStation Mini, and it's like, dude, why? Dude. And then they talk about how like they're not going to use it, but they're buying it because it's about the history. And I'm like, I don't understand this. I can't understand this. It's a weird thing to me, and the only reason why I feel like I'm very sensitive to it is because I used to be that way, and now I'm like getting rid of all this stuff that like I felt obligated to own but didn't necessarily need to own. Stuff like I mean, much more. I've been curating the comic list, but much more video game stuff than comic book stuff, because I felt like I never truly folded into the comic book collecting like market. But man, we can like barely see Superman's eyes, huh? I guess that's fine. We're gonna warm up his cheeks a little though. He's the Boy Scout after all. 30% screen. Just warm it up a little. There we go. There we go. Just warm it up a little. But yeah, I understand if like you haven't. So these collectors that I'm watching on YouTube, because I watch a lot of YouTube does a thing where it's like, hey, you watch this one thing, here's 47 other videos that are similar from like 20 other people, and so I get sucked into like a lot of video game content. This hair does not look right, by the way, color wise. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna fix it. So yeah, I'm watching these collectors be like, hey, I got my PlayStation Mini, all pre-ordered. I don't like the games that are coming out with it. I would have gotten these games instead. I own all these games. I own all the games that came with the PlayStation Mini. I'm buying it anyway because it's about history. And I'm just like, what is this? What is this? Like, PlayStation doesn't care. Like, buy it, don't buy it. Like, they want you to buy it. Like, they care about that. But, like, as far as, like, the history aspect, it seems weird to me. You want to make some foil cards to sell at conventions. Have you ever colored for a foil card? Or know any good tutorials for it? Depends on how the looking to preview in Photoshop or how the foil effect would look. So as far as I know, foiling is when you foil something. Like if we were going to foil this Superman. By the way, we need to change this stuff. There we go. Like if we were gonna foil this Superman, I'd probably foil the background, right? Oh, we've since. Hold on. We're gonna back it up for a second. Nobody get scared. We forgot to save the flats. So if we were gonna foil something, I'd foil the background here, like, and make Superman normal, or maybe foil the chains. I'm pretty sure with foiling, you send in two different. It depends on the process that you go through. You send in two different files. One file is the art, and then the other file is the guide for the foiling the art. So we would send in like this as the art, and then do like a new document, chuck this, and then like this would be the foiling guide of like foil all this stuff, But I don't know that there's a way to figure that out as far as figuring out foiling. I feel like the number of comics you own as an issue, trade or hardcover and digitally, can't say anything about people double buying video games. Yeah. You got still obsessed with collecting old punk records. Yeah, that stuff's awesome. And there's a compilation from Very Small Records called Make the Collector Nerd Sweat, and you paid a ridiculous amount for it. So speaking of collectors, when I was working on a book with Mike Oming called The Victories, we did I did a thing where I colored a cover like very, very straight, very normal, and then I used a thumbprint brush and made it look like it just kind of like scuffed the corner, in order to just like mess with collectors. Like I just wanted collectors to like feel like they didn't get something that was near mint. Like I just basically made all of the books not mint by putting a thumbprint on it. And that was done purposely for making collectors sweat. Yeah, I was wondering if since you were Lookout's girl, if you were collecting records because of Lookout Records. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, man, I just feel like, I don't know, like, get the stuff that you want, obviously, but like, there's this weird like internet thing where it's like everybody's getting this thing, we've all decided it's good, you have to buy into that, and it's like, dude, you don't have to buy into that. Like, you can get whatever you want to get. Like if you don't like this band that everybody likes, it's fine. If you don't like this comic that everybody likes, buy The Realm. It's that simple. It's that simple, and it's that much self-promotion. But yeah, so I mean, that kind of stuff driving me nuts. And one of the videos that got recommended to me when I was like, I watch a lot of this stuff while I'm working, because it's like just people talking usually. I can like kind of ignore it and focus on the art. Is this one person was like, it was stuff that they regretted buying, and they were like, I had regret buying all these Working Designs Sega Saturn games. And like, for those of you who don't know, Working Designs was a company that ported over a lot of Japanese games, and they did it very lovingly for the Sega Saturn, but they also did it in very low supply. So they're these beloved, well-produced titles in low supply, just like, you know, something like Batman the Damned, first printing, is like notable for a reason, and we won't get into that, but it's in low supply, and there's a finite amount of them out there, so, you know, like, people are scrambling for it, collectors are scrambling for it, and it commands like a heavy price tag. And this guy was like, I bought all these things, and then I was like, I don't like any of these games, and I don't know why I bought them. And it's like, he bought them because they show up on lists of like must owns and must plays, and it's I don't know, it's just so silly. You know, just like what you like. This is why complete collections don't make any sense to me. But at the same time, I'm trying to complete a collection of 2099 stuff. I have most of it. I'm missing some pieces. But that's because 2099 stuff is the trash that I like to live in. Like, me personally, I don't think Ravage 2099 is popping up on any best of lists, but I love it. That's my wheelhouse. Give me that trash. I'm like a weird raccoon trash panda, just loving it. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, that's something that's been like kind of weirdly bothering me. And the other thing that was like weird about those videos was like, you know, they would talk about the PlayStation 1 and they'd be like, look at how far we've come. And I'm like, we, I'm like, there's a weird sense of, and you guys might have seen this out there too, of like fan ownership. I'm like, you didn't code these games. You just played them. Like, I understand you have memories tied to them, and that's awesome. Like, and you love these things, and that's awesome. But like, I don't know, PlayStation putting out a collection is not about you. It's about PlayStation. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe you guys fall into this stuff, and maybe these are my personal preferences. I would never gatekeep you from like stuff that you like to do. If you like this stuff, by all means, keep doing it. I'm just like, this is where my head is at these days as a collector. I'm finding there's a lot of stuff that I wish I did not collect, and a lot of stuff that I wish that I jumped in sooner, but felt like I shouldn't, you know? This is a lot of where the vitriol on the internet comes from. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not a real fan if you don't XYZ. Like, I hate that stuff. It's like, nah, man, Ravage is good. Ravage isn't actually good. But it's my kind of trash. I'm just like kind of noodling around, by the way, on this Superman. We're gonna try to do the rendering, make it look like we're smart. Basically, I'm trying to make it look like we're smart. Don't tell anyone otherwise. But yeah, that stuff drives me nuts. There was another thing that I was going to get on my soapbox about, and I've totally forgotten what it was. Yeah. We're trying to figure out this Superman. So, here's the thing with the leg over here. We may need to throw in this like yellow on the leg back here. Let's see how that looks. And here's the thing. When I say like what you like, not only should you like what you like out there, but I would implore you to, if somebody doesn't like something or likes something else, just let them have it. You know? Like, it takes all different kinds of people. I don't know. It's weird. So like, there's definitely like a collector mentality. I go back and forth on this stuff too. Like, I don't think that like I stay in one particular camp, because I will, on the one hand, like, there's different kinds of collectors, and I've met a lot of people at cons who, by the way, speaking of cons, I just signed up for Emerald City Comic Con. I will see you there. I'm like kind of half on the fence with C2E2. I might come to that one. We'll see. It's like, the reason that I'm on the fence is not because it's a bad show. It's a great show. If you're there, even if I'm not there, you should go, because it's a great show. But it is literally the weekend after Emerald City Comic Con, and those shows have been like getting closer and closer together, and I just don't know if I emotionally can do, like, if I can hold myself together to do 2 shows in a row. It's a lot of traveling like all at once, and like, I don't know if deadline wise I can do it, because I've never done it before. We'll see. I haven't made a decision yet. I have to like I have a little while to figure it out. So we'll figure it out. I don't know. But yeah, when I do shows, like, I will meet some collectors who are like, oh, I love this book. I've picked up all of the variants. I can't get enough. You know, like, I love this book. And like, that's awesome. And like the variants are there for those kinds of people. I've also met collectors where like there was actually this was at the last time I was at Emerald City Comic Con, which was not this year. Baltimore and NYCC back to back was rough. Yeah, I believe it, dude. New York Comic Con in general, just like by itself, is a rough beast. But so I mean, like, I love collectors like that who like they just have love of the game and they're just like, I want to get them all. I love this thing. I want to get them signed. Like, you guys are awesome. And I love the collectors, or not even collectors, but like this at Emerald City Comic Con 2 years ago, these two girls came up to the booth and they had a Cave Carson issue, and I noticed that they were like, it's a very weird thing because like I try to be as outgoing and as I don't know, very receptive to like people hanging out and coming to the table, and they were like, you could tell that they were a little nervous, which is, it's fine, it's cute, you know, whatever. So they were nervous to like meet me and get some Cave Carson signed, and they kind of like walked up and were like, please, you know, like, and I could tell from holding the issue of Cave Carson that they had been like reading and rereading this thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like you could tell just by holding it that the pages were worn, like the staples were a little looser. And you could tell that it had been held and loved, you know? And like, it reminded me of me when I was their age and I was bringing, you know, Body Count, like the Ninja Turtles book, and Scud the Disposable Assassin issues to school with me. And it was just like a really great thing to like pass. And they were like, you know, they were like, can you please sign these? They didn't, you know, buy anything. They didn't have to buy anything, but like, it was such a good experience because like you could tell that these people just really love this book. And that's the thing, is like, I love meeting people who love comics, but like when it like falls into like this weird territory of like, well, the Realm is a hot book right now, so I'm gonna pick up the variants, get people to sign them, and then flip them on eBay. That's the kind of stuff that like I don't like. Or people who are like, well, the Realm is a hot book right now, so I picked it up and I didn't like it, but you're so extremely late to this party. You have opinions about fandom. The Realm is a hot book right now, so I picked it up, but I don't really like it, and I'm gonna come to the show and tell you why. Like, it's like, dude, I don't care. Like, you can pick it up, don't pick it up. Like, I don't know. Like, I just want you to enjoy reading comics, and like, if this book gets in the way of that, I'm sorry, don't pick it up anymore. It's like these collectors that I feel like in general make me uncomfortable, and that's gross. Yeah. That like, you know, and if you are that collector, like, I'm still gonna sign your books. You don't have to like just come hang out, but be cool, all right? But yeah, I will still happily sign your books. I've never turned anyone away, and I don't plan on it. But yeah, the people that resonate with me are like those two ends of the spectrum, like the well-loved, like saved. I remember when I was a kid, like I was going through couch cushions trying to find me and three friends. We were all reading Preacher at the same time, and I was going through couch cushions with my friends looking for money to buy the last issue of Preacher because we were all flat broke. Like, I have intense memories tied to, like, great memories tied to comics growing up, which is probably why I'm doing this now at 37 years old. So yeah, I get it. And then the other collectors that come up and are like, I love this thing. I've collected all of it. Thank you for signing my books. Like, you guys are awesome. Those are the collectors that like I want to spend time with. All right, we got to figure out this Superman. The collectors that are like, I bought this because I'm obligated to buy this. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't feel obligated. I hope you out there do not feel obligated. I want you to pick it up because you like it. Let's put a little gradient on there, trying to like, make sure the lighting looks right. We could almost like just white this thing out on this side. Yeah, it looks kind of good that way. We might put like a little bit of a glow or something on this. I mean, we're definitely going to halo Superman a little bit. From the other side, it's always really great when you are the, oh my God, I love this person, and you have a good experience meeting the creators. Yeah, absolutely. This is the thing. Like, I'm talking about all this stuff about like my preferences with collecting. These are my preferences. I'm not going to gatekeep anyone. Like, if you pick up the book, you want it signed, like, I'll sign it. Let's shoot the shit. Tell me about what comics you do love. I'd rather have people tell me about stuff they do love than stuff that they don't like, just in general. But like, and I'm never going to be like, if I'm at the table, I try to never have anybody leave with a bad experience. And I hope that if you guys are tabling out there, that you do the same, because I can tell you that I think I talked about this on stream. I talked to a couple of people who were like, yeah, I went to a Comic-Con when I was 13, and then I just didn't, come to Comic-Cons because I had such a terrible experience. Like, I hate hearing those stories. Like, I know those stories exist because I've heard them a lot, but like, yeah, it's heartbreaking. You're always super nervous about meeting creators. They're just people, man. I can tell you though that, I mean, like, I say that, but there are a couple of creators that I met when I was like fresh out of college that I was like very nervous about meeting and like super uncomfortable and like, but like very excited, So I tell you, hey, they're just people. But like at the same time, I freak out. I still freak out as with like some creators. Speaking of the Max, I saw Sam Keith at a show one time. I've been to like probably 100 shows in the course of my career. Maybe like 50, somewhere in there. I've only seen Sam at one show ever, and it was like early in my days, and I was just like, holy shit, that's Sam Keith. And I got him to sign some books for me. And like, he was like, oh, you a fan? And I'm like, yeah. It was like all I could muster. So I get you. And that very, very rarely happens to me. But when it does, I try to be as accommodating as possible because I've been on the other side of that conversation. Yeah, Mike Mignola was at this previous Rose City Comic Con, and I was just like, I can't talk to him. just nope, we're not gonna go there. Like, just not gonna happen. I would love to tell him how much Hellboy means to me and buy whatever is on his table, but it's just like, it's too much for me to emotionally deal with. So we're just gonna pass. But I hope that you guys will not pass and let me sign your books. at Emerald City Comic Con. We're figuring out this belt. Trying to put like a little shine on it. I don't even know who Lone Grufford is. You're so starstruck you couldn't remember your name. Who is that? Who is that person? Are they a punk person or are they a comic person? It's weird when you get starstruck too, because like it's not like mentally I knew that it was just a person, but like it's like an emotional response. It's bizarre. Whoa, that was a lot of crotch real fast. Sorry about that. He played Mr. Fantastic. Oh, in the first Fantastic Four movie. Okay, all right. He's an actor. Yeah, actors get I'm sure get starstruck a lot. When I was at a MegaCon Orlando, I had walked by the actor who plays Jess on Gilmore Girls in the lobby. Tuned in right at the time for Super Crotch. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, and I am, if anything, first and foremost, I think Jess was right for Rory. First of all, throwing that out there. Yeah, I have Gilmore Girl opinions. It was funny. There was a couple that lived in the same apartment complex here that we were kind of friends with, and the guy was always like, she won't watch Star Wars, but she always tries to get me to watch Gilmore Girls. And he was like, I think he was fishing for me to be like, yeah, man, screw that. But I was like, Gilmore Girls is good, actually. You should watch it. He was like, wait, what? You still get super nervous talking to Garth Ennis, even though you've been to the movies together. Yeah, I remember. You saw that submarine movie. We're gonna up the saturation because it's Superman and it should be saturated. Oh my god, we're on the wrong layer. There we go. Superman's kind of a weird, like, this is turning into like, let's wash it with color and unify the palette. And now I'm just like, let's make this fucking blue, you know? It's Superman's like such a weird thing. Like, should we just saturate everything? Probably, right? Maybe a little bit extra. Because Superman should be Superman. It's kind of a weird beast, this colorist challenge. I don't know if I would have personally. Yeah, even seeing that terrible movie together, you're still like, oh shit, it's Garth Ennis. Yeah. I've never met Garth, and I don't think I have the capacity to. Like, it was enough. Like, I was talking to Klaus Janson because he was inking some of the Nightwing books that I was working on, and we were talking about that. And he was sitting next to Tim Sale. Tim Sale is someone who, like, Long Halloween had a huge impact on me when I was like first reading comics. And then Tim Sale's just like jumping in the conversation, and I'm like, I can't emotionally handle this. Like, I was like, let's keep it together. I was fine. It was fine. But like, yeah, man, it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm trying to do these like reflections in the chains, but I don't know if this is the right color for that. Might just have to like tone it down. But Tim was very nice, and you guys should all talk to him. He's a good dude. Just a normal person like you and me. Just talk to him. Easier said than done. Let's figure out these chains. So here's the thing. I normally I will like render the shit out of metal, but like these chains seem like they're gonna be kind of like a matte color. So because of that, we don't necessarily need to really render them a whole lot, but I think that we should like add just like a little bit of shines on them. Not something like overt, but like just like a little bit of peppering some of the brush in there. I think that's probably fine. So in addition to downloading a bunch of brush packs, I did also download the Debaser kit, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it's a kit that someone is selling online. I forgot where I got it. It's in the Discord. If you I think he's like bursting out of the chains, draping them around like a next guy. He's wearing the chains. He is it's Halloween. He's going as Flavor Flav. He's missing his clock. He's gonna pull Big Ben down. This is a terrible joke. Don't subscribe to this stream. It will only encourage this kind of behavior out of me. This year at Baltimore Comic Con, finally had the guts to talk to Richard Case, and I'm glad I did. He was extremely nice. He stopped by your table afterwards. That's awesome. That is a really great experience. I try to walk around as much as I can, but I don't get to as much as I would like. I try to at the beginning of shows when like people are setting up to grab some cool stuff. Man, I will say that like as much as I like, so I'm reading Hellboy right now, and I just downloaded a bunch of Jason Aaron Thor from Comixology that I'm like very excited about. Come for the bocce ball, stay for the chain jokes. Yeah, right. This stream. This is a stream only a mother could love. Only she doesn't subscribe, so I don't know. But yeah, I find like I've gotten more excited about like weird little stuff that I've found in Artist Alley, little zines that people have made, and small press stuff. In the last like couple of years, I've been more excited about that stuff than like bigger kind of stuff. And maybe that just speaks to like where my head is at as far as like making things, because I'm focused on making smaller things, and so these people are making smaller things, and like maybe that's what I'm responding to. But I picked up to name drop a few titles that you guys should look into. Gut Ghost in the last year I thought was really interesting and fun. Fuck Off Squad was really great, or I think it was Fuck Off Squad. It had fucking squad in the name. And what else have I picked up that I really loved? Also all of Sally's stuff. This Quiet City in the chat, her stuff's great. What else have I picked up that's like little and awesome and stuff that I was like, this is gonna make its way into the regular collection. I picked up a bunch of stuff from Chris Schweitzer that was like fantastic. These little like paper cutout drawing things. He just did a Mars Attacks issue that I want to pick up that I'm very excited about. Yeah, Fuck Off Squad. Yeah, so good. Such a great name too. But like if you grew up like I did, skateboarding around, and I was a terrible skateboarder, by the way, and reading comics and like that kind of thing, and you were in that like culture of like punk bands and that sort of thing, you will respond to Fuck Off Squad as like jumping back into your childhood. It's so good. The Mars Attacks comic is great. That's awesome. I'm very excited about it. Starks is writing it, so I'm sure it's really good. Man, he gave me some great advice this last Emerald City, or not, Rose City Comic Con. I was talking to him about making comics, and he was like, I was telling him how I've been kind of struggling to start, and how in general at the time I was like having a tough time with jumping back into the sketchbook. And he's like, see, you're worried about making it good. And I was like, yeah, well, I want to make it good. He was like, stop worrying about that. He was like, just make it first and then worry about making it good. And I was like, oh, I was like, I should do that. So that kind of like lit a fire under me again. All his stuff is so good. He's a good dude. And he gives some decent advice. And he compliments Matt Fraction and then makes him nervous. So he can't be wrong. He can't be that wrong. He credits Matt Fraction with starting his career in writing, and in doing so, we'll tell him that, and then that makes Matt Fraction nervous, which is really funny to watch. I haven't had any conversations with Matt Fraction, but his wife is great. I've talked to her a few times. Yeah. Mars Attacks is so good. We're gonna lighten up the yellow in this S a little bit. Just a little bit. We gotta add some like special effects in here. Other people, because this was like part of a colorist jam, and if you go on Twitter and you search hashtag colorist jam, you're gonna see like a million variations of this. You always have trouble getting started because you're afraid it won't be as good as you want it to be. Yeah, man. It's so tough, especially like when you are making something, like, especially because like you work at a very high level, Travis, and like you want it to look the best it can look, and like sometimes that will just like cripple you, you know. Tooth shine, right. You did the Spider-Man one from Stegman. Oh, awesome. I meant to do that one too, but I also thought that was like, not that I'm like criticizing pics, but like, so Marissa and I did we started doing the Colors Jam stuff with a Thanos one. It was like one of my earlier streams, and the reason that I picked that Thanos one was because the lightning was very open to the colorist interpretation. So I wanted to see what everybody's hot take on that would be. The Spider-Man one from Stegman was like very well drawn, a great Spider-Man, but it was like you do it and it's just Spider-Man at the end. And I feel like that's kind of with this, like, I don't know that there's that many takes on Superman that are going to be different than this. Like, this seems like the straightforward, like, quote unquote right way to do it. Let's try to dress it up just a little. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that you're gonna get a whole lot of variation. A lot of people did some variations. Need more Thanos hot Thanos takes. Yeah, use the flats from Rico. Yeah, don't know what happened there. Yeah, it was a weird autocorrect for Rico Renzi. So like we played this Superman very straight, but like I feel like you can either play this Superman piece from Bryan Hitch very, very straight like we did, where it's like, this is obviously Superman, or you can get real freaking weird and be like, I don't know, like like some kind of, I don't know, weird like pop art take on Superman. Like, I feel like those are the directions that this thing goes in. By the way, we're now in the sliders phase. We've added a little bit more blue into everything. Superman's underwater. Yeah, like plaid Superman. Right. Hot pink Superman. Beige Superman. Beige Superman. Bullshit, by the way. Yeah, so I felt like there was, you know, not a whole lot of artist interpretation, but people did do some like interesting things. Like, so the chains look a little like quote unquote wet in places, like here. And so people did some like heat vision, chain melting stuff, but like, I don't think that it, I don't know. I don't think that it like really works because he's not shooting it currently with his eyes. Like, I feel like it would cool down so fast. Give him a goatee. Solid play. So I just felt like, I don't like, when I looked at this, I was like, we should just do a classic Superman. So this is a different black. This is 2080-80. This is the normal black that I use, 60-60-40. This is just a different kind of like super black. This reddish one. This one's like a little purplish, a little bluish. This one's much more reddish. I usually put this in places where we're gonna do shines. And then like I kind of wanted to put it in the skin tone, because there's a lot of grays in here. So like in the line art, there's a bunch of gray happening. So we can kind of like go in and like warm it up. Put it in the hands, put it in the neck. So that gray is now like a little bit warm. Like if you look, it's like gray and now it's like reddish. You're terrible at skin tones. Skin tones are like a tricky thing because like it has to look warm, it has to look readable, you know? It took me a long time. The first book that I ever worked on, everybody was a robot in it. And so it was all gray skin tones, metallic skin tones. So it was definitely an advantage to the whole situation. We're gonna do a screen. We gotta put in that Superman, that good old classic Superman smile right there. That's a little too big. It's funny, but it's wrong. That's not readable? That is so stupid. Nobody do this. Oh my god. I can't get it to look right. It's like going up his nose. The angle of the drawing, I can't make this work. But yeah, skin tones are tough because you have to make them work within the palette but also read as warm. It's genius? No, it's terrible. Don't encourage this. Oh god, it's so bad. I can't. It's like right up his nose. Look at that. It's just right up his nose. The other thing that I wish is that like we got a little clearer with his eyes. Like his eyes are so dark, and I think it's the line art. It's not actually like, you know, like our fault here. So maybe we can I mean, like if we just do this, he looks like a zombie. But like maybe we could do like drop the opacity to like 13 and kind of like blue up the eyes a little bit. We're like in the nitty-gritty of the pixels. That looks weird. Don't do that. Maybe that's something we can't help. We're gonna make the sun shining behind him. We should do that, at least. Lens flare coming right off his nose. Lean into the look. Oh my god. Chat is dangerous. Kryptonian nose shine. It was funny while I was in Rose City Comic Con. I was hanging out with Oming and I'm not trying to like name drop. I hate when people name drop. But I was hanging out with Oming and Bendis and stuff, and Bendis was talking about his Superman runs, and like when it got announced, he said that the community response was really good because like everybody had like a pet Superman thing that they wanted, that they were tweeting at him about. So he was like reading like basically every niche Kryptonian thing just like came out of the woodwork and bombarded him on Twitter. So he just like read a ton about Superman and what the fans wanted. So I hope you guys are reading Action Comics and Superman, because Bendis hears you, and he is making the best he's making the Superman that you want. You wanted this, not him. You wanted this. Actually, I'm reading Action Comics and I really like it. So we made him shiny. I don't know that we necessarily, this is working to our best benefit. So we're putting like a hard shine behind him. There's a couple things that we gotta navigate with this. Like, we can just call this done. That is totally okay. Like this, if you turn this into an editor, they would be like, yep, looks done. But like, I think that now that we've put you're looking forward to Bendis's Young Justice. I didn't know he was doing a Young Justice. That's awesome. I'm excited about that too. So on the preview screen, hold on. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at it on the other monitor for a second. Okay, we're done with that. We might want to tone down the glows just a little bit. They're looking a little bit strong on the other monitor. I don't know how they would look on your phone, which is ultimately the goal. Oh my god, this is what I wanted to talk about. The thing that's driving me crazy. So I've been like, my process for Umbrella Academy is like I'm kind of taking the low end out. I'm letting Gabriel's lines shine through a lot more than I normally do, because let's face it, Gabriel's line art is the star. Like I'm very much the backup vocals on that book, and I want to make Gabriel look as good as he can. So I'm trying not to overpower him. And the way that you overpower line art in general is you go too dark with the colors, and then it muddies with the line art. I want his cartooning to shine through. So I'm taking it and actually tweaking the levels when I'm like done with a page to make it a little bit brighter. Let some of the paper shine through, make the ink percent a little bit less. And so this has got me thinking in general about ink levels. Is this working? No, we're at opacity 12. And I've been really trying to like get good ink levels that are printing well, that are also looking good in a digital format. And holy shit, this is an impossible task. Like, it seems like, and I don't want to, if you like picking up paper comics, that's great. I think that when you pick up paper comics, you are actually getting a worse product than the digital version. As a colorist, this is me telling you this. Every time I read something, I'm looking at my products. This sounds actually impossible. Yeah, it is actually impossible. But I'm trying to get to like the best place you can get. And this is something that I've struggled with my whole career, is like, how do I get this to look as good on my screen as it does in real life? And how do we get it looking right in both places? How do we get the best bang for our buck? What colors are going to come out the best, like, between the two versions? And I've just come to the conclusion that, like, every time I see something in print, no matter what I do, period, no matter what I do, the digital version looks better. Like, you picked up the first issue digitally. What did you think? Look good? Look great to you. Perfect. I'm glad that it did. I was looking at some Nightwing stuff just recently, because I got some Nightwing comps, and I was like trying some of the stuff that I do on Umbrella to not overpower the line art, because Chris was doing in his line art, he was going far more gritty, and since he was so gritty, I didn't have to be. So I was trying to take the low end out of the color there and let him kind of do the lifting for the textures, and thinking about Nightwing a little bit differently. And I got the issues, and I looked at it, and I was like, it was just such a struggle. Like, the print version just always looks more dull than the regular digital version. And I think that's just the way it is. Like, I think that I can build something that looks good in context. The print version will look good in context. It'll look good. It'll look like, you know, like a good comic book. You know, you're not going to open it up and be like, ugh, you know, like, all comics in print are going to deal with color the same way. But holy God, like, trying to figure this thing out, like, and then just, and I've started also, because I care about this stuff, I've started also buying my books digitally on Comixology, because I get comped in paper. Backlit color will always look brighter and more vibrant than ink on paper. Nothing you can do. Yeah. So I know that there's nothing I can do, but I am trying to be like, okay, there's nothing I can do, but, like, how do we get to the best possible place? And, like, you really need, like, the more contrast you have, the thing that paper doesn't handle well. Oh my God. Look out, girl. No. Watching me do this so effortlessly while talking to you makes you depressed over your own coloring skills? No, this is just years and years of work. Trust me. You clock in. Here's what you need to do. Clock in about 8 hours worth of Photoshop for every day for 15 years, and then come back to me and talk to me about your coloring skills. So I just wanted to reflect what's happening here with the sun in the rest of his thing that he's got going on here. So I put a little halo around him in the hair. In reality, if we were going to, like, I mean, I don't know, we could even like, if you want to get real nasty, we're about to get nasty. Chat, strap in. But yeah, so I've been buying my books digitally, and also, like, comparing that against their print counterparts. And, like, there is the problem with digital is that people can zoom in on small details, and a drawing that you did looked okay at real size. Yeah, tell me about it. Dude, that is the struggle with Nightwing, by the way. Like, so much of, I've talked about this before on stream, with, like, people will watch it in guided view, read it in guided view on Comixology, and then they will be like, hey, I like this moment, I'm going to post it up on Twitter. And it's like something that is supposed to be 1.5 inches tall, a drawing that's supposed to be 1.5 inches tall, that is now like 12 inches tall. And you're just like, wow. It just looks like it goes off the rails. Yeah, it's such a struggle. Trying to like multi-format something is just, it's just tough. I don't think there's anything you can actually like do about that, you know? Just like there's not really a whole lot I can do about what I'm talking about, which is print versus digital. But like, yo, I am trying. Learning certain poses is a big pain. Yeah. The trick is to run your image through a JPEG artifactor. Yeah. Just make it look like an image from 1998. Yeah. You solve this by making your work terrible in every size and format. No, that's not the solution. But so here's the thing that I've really narrowed in on is that like if I'm doing something that's like subtle in the work, it's gonna, a digital reader is gonna see it and appreciate it. Maybe appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe they're just like, Nickfil subtle again. Who does he think he is? But they're gonna see it, and then the person in print is never gonna see it. Not only that, but like DC has switched paper with different ink limits, and that is also limiting. Like I never get dark enough for the ink limit, but I've noticed that my darker tones are like always just kind of like a little bit wonky. Do I have favorite colorists? Yes. The answer is yes. I have a lot of favorite things and people. Well, Nick Filarty, yeah. But yeah, I noticed like, so I've been testing the waters with some things like textures in backgrounds. What shows up, what doesn't show up. How subtle can I actually go? And the answer, you'd be surprised, not that subtle. Can't really go that subtle if I want it to show up in print. Mainly asking who they are. Are you looking for other colorists, King Crush 92? Because let me tell you, that is rude. That is rude. No, if you're looking for a good colorist, I mean, everybody knows Dave Stewart is an incredible colorist. He's one of the reasons that I got into coloring. I think we're done with this Superman, by the way. We got, like I said, we got a little nasty with the hair, but I could even go a little lighter than that. Actually, we're not done. We're not done. You're starting a movement, Subtlegate. No, looking for art for your room. I would say Matt Wilson, Jordi Belair, Tamara Bonneville, Dave Stewart. Those are like the heavy hitters, as far as I'm concerned within comics right now. Rico Renzi, if you're looking for art for your room, Rico does a lot of like cool stuff, prints and things like that. I'm trying to make this lighter and I'm on the wrong layer. His stuff's like super engaging and great. I don't know. I think that list gets you started. Marissa Louise is great. She's a friend of the stream. Subtle, subtle Kate hates SJWs. Subtle jerk warriors. Yeah, I'm a total SJW. A subtle jerk. Comicsgate. Dumb as hell. All right, all right. I think, man, did we go too far? Have we? What hath I wrought? Rico also made the Garfield Craven fan art crossover we were all waiting on. Yeah, Rico does a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I know. Well, so like Hellboy stuff is like people Sally was saying in the chat that like Hellboy is really fun to zoom in and on these panels as you're making your way through the omnibus. And the thing about Hellboy is that the work is very graphic, which means it's very, very tight because he's making one line. Like, he's not over rendering. He's not, you know, like this Superman pose done by Mike Mignola looks radically different. I feel like, I don't know, it's guided view works for some artists and does not help others. I think we're done with the Superman. Is there anything that looks weird? Chat. Forever hold your peace. Unless you tell me right now. You love it? You want to learn how graphic it is? Yeah. I was actually so the last sketchbook challenge, the last cryptoid that I did, of these little goblins, I drew like 3 of them all together because there's like a group of them that attack this house. And then I read some Hellboy, and then I was like, oh, I should have put like a like silhouette outline that's like blank of like 4 more goblins in the background, because that way I A, don't have to draw them, and B, create like a bigger volume of space, and C, create more of them to make them more threatening. Like, there's so many great tricks and like, I mean, Mignola's a master. Like, he makes such good choices. Yeah, it's just good choices up and down the line. Like, anybody who's like, I don't like Mignola because it's too simple or whatever, they don't understand how to make art. Like, I can understand if your preference doesn't lean that way, but like, the choices that he makes are so strong. Yeah. He just puts breather panels in. Yeah. I love it. I think this Superman is done. So, I kind of wanted to tool around with the debaser toolkit with this, but I don't actually know how it works yet. Let's just start using it. There's like, they included all these tutorials, and I'm like, I don't need any of this. And then I loaded it up, and I was like, oh, I need all of this. He's still mad about X-Force number 8. Wow, that's holding a grudge. So there's all these like misregister stuff and roughen layer mask edge. This is for some of the stuff that's like the zip tone patterns and stuff like that, trying to make comics look like they're older. The thing that I was really excited about the Debaser comic series is this, the ink distressing. So we're gonna do a large detailed, we're gonna do a medium detail. How big is this thing? Not the very big. We're gonna do a medium detailed distressing, and I'm just gonna play it, and we're gonna see how this goes. Sure. Okay, we've already just obliterated the line art. Okay. Yep. Okay, this seems fine. Okay, yeah, totally fine. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep. Yep. This is a thing. Okay. Yep. All right. Yes. We've done it. Okay. Continue. Okay. I don't know what happened. You broke it. Yeah. It's severely broked. What if we took this and just dropped it into the masks? Will it not be broked no more? Still looks broked. What if we turn this off? Now it don't look broked. Now it looks like we distressed the ink. Although it looks weird here. What if we... We're trying stuff out. We're figuring it out. This is like well out of the normal process. So we did all these cuts and line arts, and that like delicate rendering on the line art that just got obliterated. So we're going to try to call that back a little bit. And then I think we're going to try to, so like, it's adding noise into the black. And I'm trying to like bring that out a little. It looks like it's only really coming out in like weird places. But it does look like a little bit worn, which is kind of neat. I wonder if we can, let's wear out the line art. Is that a thing? Can we do that? We're going to find out. Celebrities, do they know things? We're going to find out. Yep. Okay. Yes. Everything's fine. Look. If I've learned anything, it's just agree to everything. That's how to get through life, everyone. You just agree to everything, and you where do I hit okay? Continue. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. We don't need this. Wait, do we need this? I don't even know. We're trashing this. This is... I don't know how to use this. We're gonna break it. Colorists, do they know things? What do they know? Let's find out. Yeah. So this is done, right? Put this puppy to bed. we broke it. Oh shit. So I kind of wanted to make this. What is this? This is screened. This is screened. Madness. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Oh my god. Photoshop, please. Whatever you're doing, you gotta stop doing it. So this is adding distressing. Can we change the color? We can change the color, but it takes away all the distressing. Pattern fill. Okay. Can we... This is a pattern fill with no mask. Alright, I'm figuring this out. So we can't tweak the pattern, unfortunately. Unless we can change the... I mean, we can change the pattern. What if we change it to like one of these other idiot patterns it gave me? Like, this is just a blue zip tone now. I don't know that that did anything for us. It's certainly a thing. Oh my god, just use the... So we've distressed the line art a little bit, and we've added a blue zip tone. We did it. Looks perfect. Yeah, like so I'm excited to mess with this more. I don't know if this stuff is like practical for regular use. I think it might be, but I need to figure it out. And so that's gonna happen on stream. Us figuring this stuff out. Hello. Please. I don't know. I think this is fine. This is fine. This is totally fine. How are you? Let's under the ink effects, I guess. We're gonna amp up the red in this. We're gonna make it red. And I just want to crank up the Superman S a little bit so that it's kind of an anchor point for you to look at, because we've put a lot of stuff down on the page now. It's a little bit out of control. Oh, I fucked up the flats. I know how to fix this. So this is a little bit out of control, and the reason that this is a little bit out of control is partially because we were not using quote unquote black inks to begin with, but then we started debasering it, so now the inks are just like not black, which is fine, but like, I don't know, is this where we want to be? Is this how we want to live? Who's to say? I think this looks great. However, if I handed this to an editor, and I just want to say my piece real quick. I enjoy this. If I handed this to an editor, they might come back with, "Oh my God, what did you do? Why are the blacks not black? You know, like, what happened? How did we end up here?" And they would be right. They would be right. You know, if it was like a regular DC superhero thing that they wanted to put out there for like a cover or something, they'd be totally within their right to be like, "Hey, make Superman's head, the blacks in Superman's head, black." You know, but I like this, and I think we're gonna call it here. You love it when colorists color your lines? Yeah, see, this is also an artist interpretation thing, because like, I think it looks great on Robert's stuff. It looks especially good on Robert. Every time I color his lines, I'm like, we should just be making an animated adventure. Oming looks great. Jeremy, not a huge fan. When we do the Realm, like, I can colorize the line art, but I have to do it in a very meticulously, like, thought out way. Like, there has to be a good reason. And when I like totally wiped the line art out, like if I took his hair and made like this line like almost white, like almost gone, Jeremy hates that. But like, some artists are like, "Hey, do whatever you want," you know, like, it really is a whatever, you know. Some artists are more tolerant of it. Some artists are like, "Well, I put that there for a reason," you know. It really just depends. I like this. I'm gonna post it up on Twitter and Instagram and all my other social media platforms that I have, like Discord. I guess that's social. Is that social media? I don't know. But like, if you want to see it, there's all my info right up there. If you want to see it like not filtered through Photoshop and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope maybe you found it a little bit informative. I don't know. I kindly just used it as a soapbox, really. It was a weird one. But I got a Realm cover that, unless I need to do it right the hell now, we're going to do on Monday, I guess. I'm trying to do a Red Dead stream on the weekend. We also bought Battle Chef Brigade that I want to jump into. I think that's the next game we're going to do, because everything's about chefs now on this stream. We're doing Curse of the Iron Chef. We're doing Battle Chef Brigade. And if we can make food on stream without actually making food on stream, we're going to do it, apparently. If you guys like the stream, obviously, give me a follow. Until then, until Sunday when we play some more Red Dead, I hope you guys are out there, and I hope you're still making comics. And I will talk to you on Sunday when we play some Red Dead, and if not, I will talk to you next week when we start doing some more coloring, or maybe even some more drawing. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. I'll see you then. Keep making comics.